Whoa, you're saying that you don't think it's going to... You think it's going to Game 3 already? You haven't even seen the picks and bans, Taco.
I don't have to see the picks and bans. I just know that Spacestation are not going to let it fly like that.
I'm writing it down, Taco. When it's 2-0, I'm coming back to check on you. But that is it. Picks and bans ready for Game 2. CLG up against Spacestation Gaming. Supposed to be the top 2 cards in North America, but CLG making it look easy so far. But I get where you're coming from, Taco. I trust the Spacestation roster with names like JeffHindla, BaRRaCCuDDa, Baskin, andinster, Aquarius to be able to bounce back from a loss like that. That's what makes up, you know, world's caliber talent, and this squad certainly has it.
And you can't take anything away from CLG from that previous game performance either, because that was just a very sound gameplay. Like, it wasn't even just the mechanics, purely like the decision making, the shot calling, all of it just felt like it was one after the other. That's what makes it so hard to recover at a higher level of play, because you don't get a chance to breathe, you don't get a chance to think. If you're Space Station, all you can do is hope that you're able to respond in time.
Yeah, and if there's some people in the world whose outlooks I feel like could overcome this, it probably Jeff and BaRRA. I'm not saying those two dudes don't get mad, because we know that they do, but BaRRA probably hit him with the "that sucked" at the end of the game, and then just kind of like moved on. You know, like they're ready now to regroup here in Game 2, and CLG, though, going to get that soul yet again. Hurriwind looked great on it last time, so that's going to be a problem. And the Ullr being first selected by Space Station. I mean, Baskin didn't look bad, but, I mean, it didn't look great either.
Salty runbacks, potentially, except we don't see a Camazotz ban. It was the Circuit and Dashi right away from CLG as their first 2 priority bans. So some possibilities here that CLG might actually opt to pick up the Camazotz for themselves.
Yeah.
Already wanted to secure the Hachiman, so kind of just...
Fafnir, I guess, here? Or?
Early reveal. Fafnir would be a really strong pick, though, and locking away the support would also ensure that they don't end up getting this one banned in the 3rd and 4th bans. Good call, Finch.
Hey, it's just what happened last time, right? I mean, so far they're running it back for the most part, but you're right. The Camazotz ban is a different one here this time, as Soul Hachiman going to synergize up with Chorus yet again. Ullr Athena, and this time they're going to go with the Jing way. Wow, we're seeing very similar picks to what we saw last game, to the point where I would say, Taco, they are the same picks.
I feel like this is going to be a salty run back here from Space Station, but one thing I do want to point out is that probably would have preferred to see them look for their jungler in that 3rd pick selection. There hasn't been a jungler locked in for CLG just yet, and with the Hunter being sealed away from Counterlogic Gaming, I think that Space Station could have probably gotten away with picking up the Camazotz if they'd wanted it, and now instead they revealed the Jing way, and that's going to mean that Camazotz will definitely get banned.
BaRRaCCuDDa gets banned as well, which is good. We saw how well that was played last game by Homiefe, so they're taking that off the board. Also going to take the Giannis off the board, even with the Soul and the Hachiman already locked in. I think there's a possibility we might be seeing the Giannis jungle.
Not necessarily a Giannis jungle, but there are other places that you can stick a Giannis and still notice him. I'm thinking mostly towards that solo lane in particular, where we could have maybe seen something spicy happen there. That's just an assumption, though. Can't really get that guaranteed mindset behind it, but you never really know what to expect. In Season 5, we've seen all sorts of craziness already. It would not have phased me all that much to have seen a Giannis in the solo lane, but one thing's for sure, Space Station are going to get the Nemesis.
All they're missing is the Artio to try and run the same thing they ran last game. It's going to be different for CLG, though. They had to switch this one up because the BaRRaCCuDDa was banned away. They are going to select the Awilix pick, and they have to kind of do this because they've banned away 3 assassins themselves between the Daji, the Circuit, and the Camazotz, and then the Rat banned away by Space Station. So Awilix is going to be next. Over the likes of a Thor still was available. They chose this Awilix.
I love Awilix so much.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited to see her getting picked, but I have some concerns, mostly the fact that she's going to be interrupted pretty easily here now that the Artio has been confirmed.
Same Space Station draft.
Space Station are running it back. The only difference is CLG mixing things up a little bit with the Awilix, but other than that, this looks like an exact copy-paste.
This is kind of intense to me. You run the same draft back that you got, for all intents and purposes, stomped on, like rolled last game, right? And the only difference is, instead of a Rat play something else, they play Awilix, and Space Station feel like they can do it.
God's plan.
God's plan. That's what Space Station are rocking with right now, Taco. I liked your analysis there. Nothing else you wanted to add to that, right? It was just God's plan?
No, just that one.
Thank goodness.
2-part. I'm done.
Thank goodness. Okay. But this is what we're seeing from Space Station right now. We're looking at them running the same draft. I mean, Taco, you said before the picks and bans, CLG or Space Station weren't going to go down 2-0. You still feel that way now? Wow.
I can't see Spacestation not taking this to a game 3, man.
Wow. All right.
It's hard. It's tough. I love seeing Awilix play, and I really want to believe that Awilix is going to be the differentiating factor here. But I think we know Spacestation and the capability of this roster too well for me to comfortably say that they're not going to take this to a game 3.
Yeah, I agree with you as our casters are jamming out there, ready to start the game. I get it, production. We'll get it over there to them. Taco, she likes Spacestation here. Tom, Ryan, what do you think?
Can't some dudes jam in peace? We were jamming to the song, man. What is that about? Come on.
We're just rocking out, man. Rocking out in between
That's messed
games.
up, man.
That's what we do here. We got our little dance studio. Studio 8 is what they call us. So rocking it out here. But game number 2 coming at you. The salty and vinegar run back. We've got this one coming at you. And I think what was really telling, I was laughing out loud on the desk when Finch posed a question. So you really think, game 3? And Taco just went, because I've got faith in Space Station, but with the way that CLG played game 1, I mean, I'd be hard pressed to say it's SSG.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of the salty run back. I gotta say, I don't know. Even when games like that, where you're like, we feel like our draft was really good, we just messed up one or two things. Can't you use that in the way that CLG played and what you think they might be playing to say, okay, well, we messed up this one thing. We probably could have won game 1, but why don't we do this instead and bring something else to the table, and then we'll just feeling really good about that. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of the salty run back. I agree with Taco. I really felt like there was no way that SSG get blanked here.
Sure.
But I don't know. I'd probably be voting for CLG if I'm in the chat.
Well, Ryan thinks it's CLG. Let us know in Mixer Chat what y'all think. When it comes down to it, I don't mind the salty run back. I actually really like watching players and teams go ahead and pick the exact same composition. I think it shows confidence. I think it shows a certain level of swagger, and I think you need that in order to play against the best of the best. My problem is that things have changed. Homiefe is on a different character. I think that's important to note. And I would have liked to see something different than the Baskin and BaRRaCCuDDa choices, because these are not the greatest into an Awilix.
No, but remember, Awilix was picked after Baskin and BaRRa had both locked in their selections, so you can't really hold that against them, I suppose. But I don't know. I just wonder, I wish we had the stats, or at least I knew the stat right off the bat that was what the win percentage is in a second game of a salty run back.
But see, here's
what I mean?
Sure, yes, excellent point. Here's what I mean about Homiefe, though, is that like the Space Station are saying, all right, we're gonna pick the same stuff because we think we can win, and Counter Logic Gaming goes, cool, we won't.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Like,
well, Space Station
no
did.
trust.
They banned the Ratatosker that Homie played in game 1 in the second ban phase, so it's not like he did it. He could have gone for the exact same composition, but CLG did go for the exact same composition, except they got a better jungler potentially against it. Now, is Homie going to be able to have the same pressure on the Ullr that he did on the Rat? We'll have to wait and see. But in theory, it matches up better against Space Station's comp.
50-50.
Crazy.
The first time in 5 weeks.
5 more votes for SSG is what we were just told. That's insane.
That's Jeff's.
I can't believe that SSG almost lost a fan vote.
That's Jeff's mom and dad and BaRRa's mom and dad in Destiny. That's what's happening.
Yeah, you're probably right. That's actually the difference there. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Shoutouts to Mr. and Mrs. JeffHindla, such supportive people. Again, and as we watch these Titans match up, I think a big part of the success for Space Station's individuals has been that support system. Jeff's parents come to almost all the big lands. BaRRa lives local, so we're able to see that. Support system's really important, and I love to see that for the guys on Space Station.
It's a really big factor for sure to just have your family involved, and this is still a crazy new world of esports to a lot of people, specifically the older generations, but. You love to see the parents that come in and support their kids and get involved. I always think of BaRRaCCuDDa's mom in the console scene, who's always on the console, on the Twitter, talking stuff against the opposition. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. In the console world, you've also have, Jelly's dad, that old Eager team. You had Jelly's dad and Dwarf's mom used to come to every single event. Oh, it's really fun. Really fun to see that sort of.
I know. I told Jelly I was mad at him that he retired because now I don't get to hang out with his dad anymore.
He was actually, really cool folks over there. In this game, though, Hurriwind's a pretty cool dude.
So, I mean, he's playing Soul, so So he's made of fire.
So, Aggro, are you saying that Hurriwind's hot?
Yep. Full commit, baby. Let's go.
Clip that one. Left side, Jigz and Snoopy. Well, Jig's going to get the stun. BaRRa's going to get bursted a little bit by the Hachiman. The Aiajutsu going to do the damage onto JeffHindla. And he'll be walking away with that sprint popped. Ooh, nice win for CLG's dual lane. Nice and easy. The Space Station are actually going to go for the invade off.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, though, is that even though Jeff takes half his health and has to use the sprint, it's actually a win for Space Station because that meant that CLG wasn't clearing the wave quite as quickly, and that opened up the door for Space Station to get that invade. So Jeff puts himself out there on a line, says, come and get me. CLG do, and that's probably their best option in that situation, but it still ends up in Space Station's favor.
Kind of just taking the bait. Oh, well. CLGaming also missed the purple on the enemy side. A little bit of a try from Snoopy. Not a full commit, but just toss it out the banner there. Early game. The Awilix. So you guys were arguing about this little shield?
No, that was the magical version. That's the enchanted buckler. This is a round shield.
Oh.
See? Round shield.
The other one is round as well.
It is, but it's enchanted. That's why it's green. This one's just like brown.
Yeah.
It's like nothing special.
No, it's
about
round.
That. Yeah, it's round and brown.
I mean, it's not the brown shield, it's the round shield.
It's simultaneously round and brown.
It's not titled brown.
Okay, so what is it made of, Tom? Made of round? No, it's made of wood and some metal.
I have no idea what it's made out of.
It doesn't have to be in the name.
It could be polycarbonate. You don't know that it's actual wood.
Sorry for assuming what it's made out of, but the moral of the story is that it doesn't have to be in the name to be a characteristic of the actual item.
You know what? That's fair.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Andinster, mid lane, getting poked out by Homie and those long-range basics. Such a unique part of the character. Awilix's basic attacks are a little bit longer than everybody else's because of that big old spear.
She's got a big old spear, so she can stab you from a longer range. Hurriwind pretty low on mana, but wasn't aggressed on by Space Station because they were pretty low themselves. But Aquarius on the rotation in. Homie gets crippled out here. No beads for him. Remember, he went blink. And it could be Space Station's first blood, and it will. Perfect rotation from Aquarius, and love the way that andinster plays that as well. Trusts that he'll be able to get the cripple off before the leap comes out from Homie.
Taunt going to chase out the beats from Snoopy, and we were kind of relishing in the fact that Homiefe had a great matchup against BaRRaCCuDDa and Baskin, two characters that like to jump in the air. But what we didn't mention is how devastating that Aquarius is going to be against Homiefe. Obviously, we just saw the jump get shut down, but her main form of damage, the Feather Step, that gets shut down by the Cripple Field.
Great point, and that's another reason why Space Station's willing to kind of go back to this Artio selection, I believe. Had an option to switch it up. That was their last pick, so had the option, but decided to stick with it, and I think that's a major reason why. Aquarius' rotation timing there, just perfect in the right spot, and it sets up andinster for a first blood that I think is critical. Getting Andy some confidence in this match, getting him on a bigger start than he had in the last game is going to be really, really critical to Space Station's success.
For me, it's the other side of that coin. It's about not allowing Homiefe to stay as quick and as prevalent as he was in game number 1. This Awilix, I think, is almost more impactful as far as changing the tempo of the game than around a Tasker. Rat has that semi-global, but Homie always on that Suku, able to just rotate around the map. I think can zoom in and out almost quicker than the semi-global.
It's really, really hard to keep up with an Awilix who's rotating around the map, man. It's really, really quick on that Suku, and the ability to clear the camps incredibly quickly with that Feather Step. I mean, that one shot's even 6 minutes in, so you know that Homie's going to be around the map very quickly, but good recognition from Space Station on the relic choice from him there. No beads meant that he was locked in that cripple field.
Yeah, big punish right there coming out from Space Station Gaming. Hurriwind going to get stunned out and take a big chunk of damage from Baskin, bringing him down to about 1/3 of HP. Space Station's mid laner looking strong in that exchange.
Snoopy's really far behind on this left-hand side. It's because of the consistent purple buff invades from Space Station. That really gives a lot of credit towards Jeff on the Athena. He's put so much pressure on the wave.
Ooh.
And that's been Space Station's clear advantage.
What was that pull about? Space Station thought about going for the Gold Fury.
Well, BaRRaCCuDDa stepped up a lot in that lane, so CLG may just kind of run past the Gold Fury and try and look at BaRRaCCuDDa in that situation. The problem is, because of these consistent purple buff invades, CLG's rotated in to save it.
And Jing's going to get ulted by the Nemesis. Jumps away. I don't think he was scared for a moment, but he has been cut down to about half of where he was at. Jeff's still here in local. I don't think the guys from CLG know that he's wrapping around the back end. Spacestation looking for that red buff, chasing out the ultimate from Hurriwind as well.
Nice play there. Don't know if he actually secured it. No, looks like it still went in Spacestation's favor, but did some solid damage to Baskin and may open up this chase potential for Homie. He's still chasing all the way to the red.
Yeah, Homiefe is going to blink forward, find the double knockup. Beads will immune the ultimate, but still the feather step comes against JeffHindla, and that ult provides a lot more than just the pull. Not enough power, however, to get the kill. Jigz also just a little bit short on the hammer. So it's going to be a retreat from CLGaming, but that's the type of aggression that you need to have if you're going to play this Awilix. And just dying once can't internalize that. Got to keep going.
Exactly, and I love that. What a great knockup from Homie. But in that situation where both parties are knocked up, it's actually better if you can get both auto attacks off before they hit the ground to use the feather step on them as they're falling down. Then when Baskin goes to jump away, you have your ultimate to pull him back in. Even if he's going to beads it, it at least stops the momentum of the jump and won't let him fully complete it. And then you've got better chase potential to bring him down. Great play by Homie, but there was a chance for him to find that kill even through the beads from Baskin.
So Homiefe looks like he's going to be itemizing into that void shield here, right?
Yeah, he picked it up in game 1 as well. Just good into the Nemesis because it gives you some leftover physical protection once she ults you. Yes, you're giving andinster some extra physical protections for ulting you as well, but you want at least something in the bag if you're going up against double hunter. That's the other thing, is that against the double hunter, you get physical protection and still increases your own damage and that of Snoopy as well.
Smaller side point, yeah, like Snoopy's going to be able to take advantage of it, but I think it's much more about playing against the double hunter composition, like you initially said. Baskin going to adjust, barely escape here. Here comes Homie trying to change that one. Feather step onto JeffHindla. Split DPS, not going to find a kill.
Tried to hit Baskin with the 3, the Moonlit charge, but just able to duke it out. Jigz actually detransforms, but doesn't get stunned out. Baskin, I think, was a little early on that axe, or it got hit by a minion who got in there to body block it.
Well, there's going to be the coerce on the soul. Hurriwind trying to force down this tower, similar to how he did in game number 1, and able to sustain thanks to his first ability, wiggling out of the way from Baskin, who has a little bit of a level lead on him, but not far behind is Hurriwind.
With that finish off Transcendence, though, Baskin is just doing more damage than Hurriwind at this point in the game. Hurriwind does have that evolved Hunter's Blessing, so his autos are hitting pretty hard, but once he finishes off Bancroft's tower, he'll have a much better time in this lane.
That's the key, is that Homiefe finds the key on Aquarius on the right-hand side. Nice gank over there, but that's the key for me, is that understanding, you know, power spikes. Baskin wants to fight because he's got his Transcendence. Hurriwind needs to finish off this Bancroft. I made a note how Bancroft boots and Demonic Grip in game number 1, that's when Hurriwind wants to fight. Baskin can fight earlier than the Soul, and that's kind of the benefit of picking this Ullr. That's why I think Spacestation went this direction.
And now this is kind of you got a long window now for Baskin wants to fight, because next should be Crusher, and Crusher just increases Ullr's DPS so much more, even than the Transcendence. So you're going to be in a really, really good spot for a while now if you're Baskin, before Hurriwind is really going to be able to out-trade you.
And that's why we see this start of the Gold Fury as well. All about these little power spikes, folks. Baskin is going to be able to burst down this objective, and even if he isn't, he's going to burst down whoever shows their face. Jig shows up, gets lightly zoned by JeffHindla, and the team takes the first Gold Fury of the game. 1151 in the lead is Spacestation.
And fineokay even made that rotation over to try and affect that Gold Fury fight, but wasn't in time. Didn't use the teleport, was down, and they're just now up. But that meant that Aquarius got a free wave underneath the tower on the right-hand side. Cost fineokay a little bit of gold, though he's still in the lead in that lane by about 200, so that's kind of the advantage of getting ahead in your lane, is you can afford to give up a couple waves here and there to try and impact the map elsewhere. Just a feels-good moment for Aquarius that he doesn't lose anything by not rotating, but puts fineokay, catches up to fineokay a little bit easier.
CLG cleaning up their jungle, making sure that Spacestation can take advantage of this slight lead, because this is usually what we see at first. Once 1,000 or 2,000 gold lead comes, the enemy the team that's up doesn't really leverage that on the big objectives. It's usually, we'll sniff out the red buff, we'll sniff out the purple, and then slowly that 2 becomes a 5,000 gold lead. But not the case CLGaming making sure to stay on top of their timers to ensure that Spacestation just don't have those options available.
And that's critical because, as we touched on earlier, I mean, Jeff and BaRRa were all over that purple buff from CLG earlier on in this game. So Snoopy is caught back up in large part due to being able to secure those, but still pretty far behind in gold in total. It's those early invades still making an impact, and that gold fury. BaRRa's up about 500 to 600 right now over Snoopy in that lane.
Interesting here. I don't remember Baskin going the Aussie in the third slot in game number 1. And I think this is a direct result of losing that duel against Hurriwind. Jigz here in trouble. SpaceStation trying to collapse. Homiefe walking around, just trying to bide his time. The follow over the wall from Baskin with Athena in tow. Baskin's able to take care of Jigz. Now there's a dash forward. Hayajutsu! And Hurriwind capitalizes off of the stun, takes care of Baskin.
Oh, Homie just able to jump away before he sits in that cripple field. Aquarius underneath the tower forces out the beads from Hurriwind, but then forced to dash away 1 for 1, but it's Jigz for Baskin, and CLG is happy with that trade.
Oh, yeah.
Every day of the week, Baskin way ahead in XP and gold, but because of the rotation in from Snoopy to guarantee that kill onto Baskin, BaRRa gets the tier 1 and left.
And the tier 2 going to get aggressed on by BaRRa. And he'll walk away after a little bit of poke. Still just 1,500 for Spacestation. Aquarius!
Revenge.
The solo kill on the Hurriwind underneath the tower.
Revenge for the solo kill from Hurriwind in mid lane in game 1. Hurriwind is stuck around a little bit too long. Remember, Aquarius actually forced out the beads from the mid lane soul in the last little skirmish. Now came in to finish off what he started.
Aquarius, this is the role player of Spacestation Gaming, stepping up and doing what he needs to ensure that his team is able to consistently pick up this lead. I tell you, Aquarius has been one of my favorite guys to sort of hear about play.
What about watch?
Well, that's kind of, I was hoping you'd ask that. Right here, gonna stop the dash at a fineokay. He's not the flashiest player. He doesn't always wind up on the highlight reel. But every once in a while, he'll give you that solo kill. Every once in a while, he'll give you that objective steal. He'll be the zone. And it's exactly what Spacestation needs.
Fits very well into this roster for sure, but Spacestation still clearly needs some time to gel. Still working on becoming their optimal form, if you will. Still hitting some speed bumps, particularly andinster in the jungle, but looking much better this game than the last. And I really do think that's the entire difference between game 1 and game 2, is that Andy hasn't been behind.
That's exactly it. When andinster's able to perform, this Spacestation Gaming looks like the top of the crop. Uh-oh. Baskin pulled out. Nothing Andy could do in that situation. Stunned out. Burn as well, but that's about it. He'll be cut down to about 15%.
Man, it is not easy to Awilix pull someone off soul ult. You need to be really quick on the trigger. And Homiefe right on point. Baskin's beads were down and was able to yank him back in before he could even jump away. Great play between Hurriwind and Homiefe.
Yeah, that I was curious at what caused the knockup for that pull. I mean, it's like pulling a Scylla. You can technically do it, but you're going to miss it a lot of the time. That window is so small. They're really hot stuff.
Not a lot of knockups that are as small as soul ult. It's I'm trying to think of other ones that cause this.
Geb 2.
Geb 2 is easier to pull off of than soul ult. Susano 2 can be hard to pull off of, but possible. Though you don't usually see Awilix and Susano on the same team, for what it's worth. Soul ult is about as small of a knockup as you can get for a gravity surge. Remember, Homie plays on the West Coast, man. He's a West Coast dude, has West Coast ping. You gotta that's communication. That Hurriwind's gonna hit the ult. You gotta trust him that he's gonna hit it, and you have to drop it. You have to press 4 as Hurriwind connects. Basically, you're not gonna be able to react most of the time.
Homiefe, one of the standout players, I think, in Season 3, was one of the better junglers in the planet. Kind of struggled with the meta in Season 4 as things got tankier, I think. But here in Season 5 with the refocus onto the Assassins, oh, what a play it has been. Jig's getting cut down. Spacestation on the Gold Fury, still not leashing it. In fact, they're paying more attention to it. 10%, here comes the try, and it's CLGaming, snatching it out of the fingers of Spacestation.
Oh, Jigz doesn't have the transformation. He falls the damage from Baskin, but Andy very, very low. Homie tries to finish it off. Good shield and blink from Andy might be enough to get him out of there, but now it's Jeff who's isolated. Homiefe grabs that one.
Snoopy still dealing with Aquarius on the low end. Baskin takes care of fineokay up top. Baskin takes care of another one. Double kill for Baskin, but a double kill for Homiefe. As Baskin falls to the wayside, Homie and Hurry, the tandem duo, trying to take care of it. That's going to be Aquarius taking down Homiefe, and down goes Hurry. Deicide, BaRRaCCuDDa, and Aquarius combined, and it's 8 total kills for Spacestation Gaming.
Man, what a fight there from Aquarius. He did so much damage and control in the midst of that team fight. Great autos from BaRRa, but what do you expect from this dude? I mean, he's been around doing it forever. Accuracy, but the healing from Aquarius, the energy surge that Druid Stance won, kept BaRRa alive, was doing enough between the body blocks and the damage. Great play there from Aquarius, who has looked really, really good so far.
That 725 is low, but most of it came in those clutch seconds. And I bring it back to I bring it back to the cripple field. Homiefe wins that team fight against quite literally any other character. Maybe an Ares, sure, but Homiefe just gets crippled out, and that's why CLG lose that team fight.
Aquarius doing so much for them there. And if Space Station get that Gold Fury, they're able to snowball this game into a really, really scary spot for CLG. So CLG should count themselves pretty lucky that they were able to steal that one away at least and get something on the back of that. But at some point as well, on the other side of the coin, Space Station has got to realize that Athena taunt in a Nem ult doesn't kill Jigz.
Yeah.
How many times this set have we seen that where Jigz just hops away, turns around and goes, cool.
And
Fun.
the problem is they're not getting him low enough where he doesn't have an impact. Fafnir does want to be in the team fight in order to have the impact. He's fine, tanky enough, because he does bring a lot of damage. But a Fafnir cut down to half HP can easily turn around, coerce, and continue on his merry way, and his team will be all more good for it.
Snoopy in some trouble. Andinster on that bottom left, dueling it out with Snoopy, but it's actually CLG who end up getting the better end. Andy can't escape towards the mid lane, but a nice axe on a Homiefe by Baskin. Taunt in as well. No beads for the jungler, but still able to escape.
Ooh, a rare miscommunication from SSG. Frenzy was popped, but the team did not look for the team fight after that.
Just no way to close the gap. I think Jeff was looking for that extra bit of damage, maybe for a long-range hail of arrows, something like that.
Yeah.
That could have brought the kill onto Homiefe, but just nothing left for Space Station to chase that kill with. So it's CLG now who get to push.
Transcendence third item for Homiefe. I love it. I think it's a great item. Right now, well, there's a mid lane fight. It's going to be the aggression onto the tier 1 tower. Tier 1 tower still barely alive, and Snoopy's going to make sure it's dead. Jigz with the late transformation, just making sure that Space Station Gaming weren't going to reinitiate, I think.
Exactly, and Aquarius's cripple field actually stops fineokay's pluck from connecting and kept himself alive.
This guy is, you know what Aquarius is? You know those big ugly Leatherman things, right? They're like Swiss Army knives, but
yeah.
Aquarius is a fine-looking young man. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this guy has a tool for every situation, and he doesn't have to look pretty doing it.
Well, first you say that he's wearing Wrangler jeans and boots, and I don't know if you've met Aquarius, but I cannot see him wearing
That was a Tim Duncan reference.
Wrangler jeans and boots.
And I didn't say
He doesn't
boots.
look
I said brown paper bag lunch.
All right, well, he doesn't look anything like Tim Duncan either.
No, the point was Tim Duncan's an NBA player that just famously went to work, didn't really care about the highlights, didn't really care about the spotlight or those the reporters and everything. Just was like, hey, I'm here and I just happen to be one of the best basketball players of all time. P.S. Do you like Dungeons and Dragons? So I feel like Aquarius is very similar, where like he's a quiet guy, we don't really see him stream, he's not really all about the social media, he just comes out and goes, I'm here to go to work and do what my team needs me to do.
Uh-oh, Snoopy stuck in an awkward spot, uses the horse, gets him underneath the tower, but immediately axed
See ya.
upon landing. Beautiful play there by Baskin.
Wonderful stuff coming out from both sides here. Separated by less than 1,000 gold. Hurriwind gonna get stunned out. Aquarius leading the charge, allowing his carries to take care of the structure on the back line. Here comes help though. And Homiefe blinks forward, takes care of Andy. Now it's a 4-on-4. Andinster's gone. So is the Hunter for Counterlogic Gaming. CLG surging forward. Space Station have already taken care of the structures. Now here's the turnaround. Space Station lurked in the jungle and looked for the turnaround ambush. Here it comes. They got Jigz.
Beautiful setup there again, led by Aquarius. Cripples out Jigz, so that he can't jump away. Not sure if Jigz just got that ultimate available or if it was up that whole time. Not sure it would have made a difference either way. Now Hurriwind gets baited in again by Aquarius.
Oof. Just oof. Spacestation Gaming have had a fantastic time here. Well, that's the combo. And there it goes. Homiefe completes it, set up by the Sobek fineokay. The ensuing fight after the fact, though, Aquarius goes to work, finds kill number 3. Snoopy tried to fight into it, but he gets jumped, and he gets skunked. Down goes the Hunter. Double kill for Aquarius. This guy's stealing the show.
Incredible. What a beast. Get it? Because he's a bear, which is technically a beast. He's been playing out of his mind, though. Just been in the forefront of everything that Spacestation has done so far this game.
He really has. And, you know, I've been talking about how he's this quiet guy that sits on the sidelines and just sort of does his job. Well, you know what? Caster's cursed because he's the star of this game right now.
He is. I mean, Baskin's getting close in player damage, but that's the thing is that Baskin's getting close in player damage. 23 minutes in, this Artio has been dominant so far.
13-8, Space Station with a slight gold lead here, just now growing it into something worth talking about. Just barely shy of 3,000 gold.
But the problem is for Space Station that they could have probably gotten this Gold Fury before, but BaRRa made a really uncharacteristic misplay. Dashed into fineokay on the Sobek, was late on the beads, early on the Aegis, and just kind of threw his life away.
Here comes Jigz and fineokay. Space Station Gaming get the Gold Fury this time around. No steal from CLG. BaRRaCCuDDa chased out by the ultimate from Hurriwind. And Jig's going to transform. CLGaming are all about this one. Andy on the right side takes care of Homiefe with the ultimate. And then I'll keep him at bay. No chase from CLG.
I like that play from Andy. Just the Nem ult and wait.
Yeah.
Just nothing else. Just, yo, don't go in, please. That's the stop what you're doing button and pay attention to me. And Andy just uses that ultimate defensively in that situation. Had no intention of going aggressive onto Homiefe there because I don't think his build really lends itself to that. He's very far behind in damage. A little bit more survivable with that Magi's Cloak, but Homie's got the one who's going to be winning those 1v1 trades, potentially even through a Nem ult at this point.
Especially if Homiefe is the one to start the team fight or the 1v1. He's going to get the burst from that passive. And like I said, building on that Transcendence. Love this item for Awilix. She scales ridiculously high. It's absolutely the jungler you want. And the passive is a multiplier of your power. Don't give me that look. You can't say it either.
Multiplicative?
No, multiplier.
I don't think that's what you were going for. I think that's what you settled for.
That's
All right, here, watch this one. Multiplier. Whoo! I'm nuts. What can't I do? Man.
Give me your Ho Yi impression.
First try. I'm not going to embarrass myself. What was that, Tom? Did you try to mute my mic before I went for my Ho Yi impression?
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right. You know what? Just because I want to see the poll on who chat's favorite Ho Yi impersonator is.
Yeah.
Here you go.
You go first. I'll go second.
No, you already did yours. No one wants to hear it.
No,
ever
they don't
again.
remember it.
They totally remember it. Ho Yi.
Ho Yi.
Said no one wanted to hear it, Tom.
Well, tough. I'm the better Ho Yi.
I'll let chat be the decider of that. Switch up from Hurriwind here. Actually went for the Soul Reaver instead of that Demonic Grip in that third item slot. So I wonder if this is because CLG wasn't as far ahead this game and they wanted to get the dedicated burst off of that initial combo instead of just trying to let Hurriwind auto attack down, because he's not going to be able to just shoot autos all day at Aquarius this time around. Aquarius has too much farm.
I'm laughing a little bit because both of these mid laners have made adjustments that I think hurt them in the mid game and will help them later on. I'll dive deep into that in just a moment. Great knockup as Aquarius isolates 3 players. It's Aquarius versus the world. Here comes JeffHindla as well. Andinster's going to ultimate Snoopy. And all the players from CLGaming stuck in this little corridor, leaving Space Station to do whatever the hell they want. Purple buff, sure. XP cans, we'll pass those up. Look for the pyro. Wait, we already got that. We're going to fake looking for the fire giant so we can catch you guys one more time.
Ooh, Baskin's axe was good, but Jeff was a little late on the dash taunt. Just couldn't quite close the gap there. Jigz must have been DR'd from before. fineokay teleported back and got a little dirty there, but wasn't able to find any real impact. Chased out pretty quickly by SSG.
Here's the taunt. Jing's in trouble. Surrounded. Here comes Aquarius from the back end. Hurriwind just being able to pile damage out, though. That's troublesome. Homiefe finds the last hit, but that was all Hurriwind.
Man, so much damage from Hurriwind, but that pull from Homie is so impressive because he actually knocked up both Aquarius and Jeff. If he pulls Aquarius in, not only is there no kill potential, but that's an initiation for Aquarius, basically. Without Blink, you basically just gave him Blink into your backline. Homie slides to the left and then pulls Jeff because it's the closer target to where he was there. Incredible from Homie.
Spacestation trying to fight into Counter Logic's Fire Giant push. Here comes Aquarius. Jigz gets knocked up, and he's just knocked down. BaRRaCCuDDa picks up one. The other Hunter, Baskin, picks up another. Baskin relatively low, still able to find shots. And the Sobek on the retreat doesn't want to get aggressive. 2 players down on Counter Logic Gaming for a number of seconds. But Spacestation Gaming a little bit too wounded to look for the Fire Giant.
Hurriwind caught a little off guard there by Baskin's burst, it felt like. Don't know if he got CC'd and couldn't use the Aegis or just didn't use it in time to Baskin's burst. But either way, Baskin able to find that 1 kill. But again, it's Aquarius who starts it off. It was CLG who had the man advantage. They start pushing up, and then Aquarius shows up, and Jigz has no response to what he's bringing.
Nah, Aquarius has been absolute standout player. Baskin looking great, sure, but it's Aquarius that's making it happen. It's Aquarius that's giving the stage to Baskin and allowing him to do what he does. CLG relinquishing this Fire Giant right here. No desire to play defense whatsoever, even with all of these structures up. Ryan, they're only down about 5,000 gold. Why did we see that retreat?
It was a 3v5. It was fineokay, Homie, and Snoopy against everyone on Space Station, and CLG's had trouble in the 5v5s. And in a big part of the reason that they've been able to win those 5-on-5s at times when they have is because of Hurriwind's damage. Without Hurriwind on the map. Oh, that's me. That's me! 23%!
No, that's fake.
Let's go, baby!
No! Oh, that's so...
That's what I'm talking about, chat!
So sad.
Great work.
No.
I always knew I liked you
that's
guys. It was just so clearly me.
I don't.
I don't understand what 20% of you were thinking, but it's totally fine. I'll forgive you for this. Great work, you 23% out there. Obviously, Huyi's going to have the better impression. I'm not even mad about that part. It was just about being better than FDOT. Mission accomplished. What a day. This feels good, man. Another victory for the good guys.
My feelings are really hurt. I worked really hard on that whole Yi impression.
You know what? I didn't work at all. That's just natural talent, baby. Didn't even practice once.
Listen, man.
How does that feel?
Listen,
you
man.
worked your whole life for this, Tom. I show up and rip it away in 1 impression. Insane. It's about the pause, by the way. You don't pause long enough between the ho and the yi. Little tip for you if you want to win the next one.
You know what? I'm just going to ask for a recount. I want another poll. That's what I want.
Sore loser, huh?
No, I think it was a mistake.
I don't think so.
I think it was a mistake. I want another poll.
It wasn't even close, Tom. 3%.
I'm not even kidding.
Have some dignity, all right?
No,
Accept the loss.
I want a recount.
Stamping your feet over here like a little kid, demanding a recount.
I stamped my feet earlier, not at the same time when I asked for a recount.
Nice pouting.
Listen, it's been a hard day, okay? I didn't
Not
get
for
my
me.
dinner like I wanted to.
Oh, I feel you on that, though.
Yeah.
I feel you on that. But at least I won the poll.
You're rubbing salt and vinegar in my wounds right now, man. Not
Sure
about
am.
it. Not about it. I think we have to talk. Yeah, okay, they're pushing now. Space Station Gaming collecting themselves.
God.
Looking for the Phoenix. Mid lane is the target. JeffHindla with a taunt, gonna knock up Jigz. And again, the focal point is the support, but it's working out this time. Baskin cuts him down as a 5-on-4.
It's because that's the first time we've actually seen the knockup as the follow-up there. Everyone had their skills available, and that's why Space Station's been trying that combo. It's just the first time it's worked.
And now with the one-man advantage, Space Station opting not for the middle lane, but instead looking to push up the right side. They've got the minions coming down there, so that'll be the option this time around. Space Station Gaming, 5 players strong. Jigz, 23 seconds left on the bench.
Yeah, not a long time on that respawn timer, actually, for Jigz, and Space Station might have squandered their man lead. I mean, remember, andinster doesn't have ult still for quite some time.
Here's still the push from SSG, understanding they've got to go now. JeffHindla leading the charge, and he's cut down pretty low, 40% already. Firebird gonna fall down. fineokay barely alive. He'll make his way over to the fountain. The rest of the team here going to jump forward. Left side, still being controlled, but right side, Phoenix is being aggressed on. Andy right up front dashes out, double dash on cooldown.
Baskin has been pretty isolated, but it doesn't matter because BaRRa can take care of that Phoenix all by himself. Airstrike away from BaRRa. Aquarius doesn't get plucked in there, so doesn't end up falling to potential damage from CLG.
Here comes the rush. Baskin here finds the stun on the already stunned Crocodile. Meanwhile, takes care of Snoopy almost accidentally. fineokay rushing away. Hail of arrows, bladed arrow. Aquarius by himself. He gets cut down. Hurriwind gonna find the kill. Pull negated by way of beats.
But BaRRa won't negate anything anymore. He found Hurriwind. Next is Homiefe. And I was wrong, Tom. Though I was right about my Ho-Yi impression being better. The salty run back ends up being successful for Spacestation.
Look at that one. The Titans just now gonna go down 25% and climbing. That's it. Counter Logic Gaming. On the bad side, we're going to a game 3.
No surprise about that, but it was a much better effort from Spacestation. It was all about Andy just not falling behind. I really think it's that simple. If he's able to farm well in game 1, he's got a much better chance to make an impact. He did so in that game. Not only was it Andy, though, that looked a lot better, but Aquarius, man, what a performance from him. Yeah. I get it. Baskin did well. Everyone did well from Spacestation. But if you don't vote for Aquarius for this MVP poll, you're trolling. You're trolling.
Aggro has made himself known. Let us know what you guys think out there in Mixer Chat, whether it's Baskin, whether it's Aquarius, or otherwise. I also have to give my nod over there to the Bear Mom. I mean, Artio looked fantastic. Aquarius set the stage for all of the carries to do their thing. Whoever you vote for that's not Aquarius, it's because Aquarius played his game to allow that vote is there. Oh, this just in. We have the recount.
Are you serious? This better just be even more in my favor. That's what I'm hoping for. At least here. That's what I'm talking about, baby. 55%. We don't need you anyways, Tom. This is the best Ho-Yi impression guy around. Let's throw to the desk so I can celebrate a little bit more.
Easy win there for Aggro. Not even close. It is going to be Fantier Taco as well on the desk, and we're going to be breaking down Spacestation up against CLG. And Spacestation looking a lot better there in game 2. And I kind of got to agree with our casters. Aquarius, man, looked great.
Aquarius was unstoppable in game 2. He had full control of the map, full control of the lane. It just wasn't even close. No one from CLG could even go near him. He would walk away and leave the team fights after everybody's dead on the battlefield except for him and maybe one other person. He's just full health, full mana, no problem, still ready to keep brawling. And CLG just did not have a response for this Artio. They didn't really have a way to lock her down, despite having a composition that I think probably would have permitted for a little bit more control here.
Well, we just got the results in. No big surprise. Aquarius is going to be your MVP for game 2. And you might be thinking to yourself, you know, hey, the casters are always saying Aquarius is kind of just the other guy on that team, but he can do this. He can play at this high level. He doesn't always have to because he's on a team with Jeff, BaRRa, Andy, and Baskin, but sometimes he just goes off.
This is one of the first times, I think, since Aquarius joined this squad that he has had a standout game. For the most part, it really is just Aquarius doing the stuff that he's supposed to be doing, and that's kind of part of the reason why he doesn't get as much of the spotlight as everyone else on this team, because he's surrounded by so many star players. He doesn't really have the opportunity for himself until he just pops off. Doesn't need the rest of his team to assist, but he'll still be sure to provide that assistance to his team, and it is just awesome seeing Aquarius pull it all together and be that puzzle piece that Spacestation needed to help make sure Andy could farm efficiently. That way he doesn't fall ridiculously far behind. And turns out this composition wasn't just a prank. It works.
They ran it back the second time, and it ended up working. And Taco, in particular, that Gold Fury fight, that was the first replay we saw there. It was about 17 minutes in where Aquarius keeps BaRRaCCuDDa alive. They lose the Gold Fury, but they win that fight, and Spacestation never look back after that play.
It was the body blocks entirely. That's all that it took was BaRRaCCuDDa staying alive purely because of the fact that Aquarius knows how to stand in front of everyone else. And as a result, BaRRa not only able to take out Homiefe, but they also managed to get some more objectives afterwards. And like you just said, Finch, they got the control of the game, or I should say established. I think that's when it really started to separate themselves from CLG, and CLG just seemed like they started getting really flustered there towards the end as well. Their target focus started really getting off track, and Spacestation just sounds might.
They do.